Sometimes cinema speaks more quietly than words. It takes its time, doesn't explain things directly, and doesn't offer easy answers. These films are about feelings hidden between glances, about love that changes, hurts, and liberates, and about choices whose consequences stay with us forever. Here's a selection of stories where the real story happens within the characters. A Bigger Splash, 2015. On a secluded Italian island, bathed in sun and sea breeze, a rock star who has temporarily lost her voice is vacationing. Her partner, a calm and reserved man, is with her. Their near-silent happiness is shattered by the sudden visit of an old friend, charismatic, boisterous, full of energy and an unforgettable past. He arrives not alone, but with his young daughter, and from that moment on, the tension slowly begins to mount. The film unfolds like a psychological game where every line, glance, and pause is significant. Jealousy, repressed desires, and painful memories lurk beneath the bright sun. Gradually, the vacation turns into an emotional confrontation where the characters are forced to confront their weaknesses and true feelings. This is a story of passion, destructive intimacy, and how the past can burst into the present, even when it seems long gone.
Somewhere Slow, 2013. A young woman flees her past life, lacking a clear plan or confidence in the future. A chance encounter leads her to a small, almost forgotten town where time seems to stand still. There, she meets a lonely man who also lives on the margins of life, avoiding questions and decisions. A quiet, fragile connection gradually develops between them, without loud declarations or dramatic gestures. The film tells the story of people who, rather than seeking salvation, find solace in each other's presence. It's a slow, contemplative film about inner emptiness, the attempt to start over, and how even a brief encounter can change the course of a life.
I Am Love, 2009. The story centers on a wealthy Italian family, seemingly perfect and flawless. The protagonist lives in luxury, subject to traditions and rules that have long since become a cage for her. Everything changes when she unexpectedly discovers feelings she never knew existed. The film subtly and sensually depicts the awakening of the individual, the clash of duty and desire. Through food, touch, glances, and silence, a woman's journey to freedom unfolds, a journey that turns out to be dangerous and destructive. This is a story about love that upends the familiar world, and about the price one must pay for the right to be oneself.
Sunny Boy, 2011. Based on a true story, this film tells the story of a complex and tragic relationship between a mother and son. A woman obsessed with the idea of perfect love transfers her fantasies and fears to her child, gradually destroying his personality. The story unfolds as a psychological drama, exploring the limits of parental love and its dark side. The film offers no easy answers, forcing viewers to consider the line between care and control, and how childhood trauma shapes adulthood. Souvenir, 2016. A shy, middle-aged woman lives a modest and discreet life, working in a souvenir shop. Everything changes when she meets a charismatic man who seems like the embodiment of her dreams. Their relationship develops rapidly, filling her life with emotion and hope. But gradually, her illusions begin to crumble, and she is forced to confront the reality that love can be painful and destructive. This is a story about self-deception, loneliness, and the importance of preserving oneself, even when one's heart demands otherwise.
Butterfly Sleep, 2017. A renowned writer receives a terminal diagnosis that slowly erases her memory. In an attempt to preserve her thoughts and feelings, she begins writing down her memories and meets a young photographer experiencing his own creative crisis. An unusual connection develops between them, based on the fear of oblivion and the desire to leave a mark. The film explores the fragility of memory, the value of the present moment, and love that exists here and now without the promise of a future. A Castle in Italy, 2013. A semi-autobiographical story about a family on the brink of financial and emotional ruin. The protagonist struggles to preserve the family castle while simultaneously coping with losses, debt, and complex relationships with loved ones. The film combines lightheartedness and melancholy, showing life as it is, with its irony, pain, and hope. It's a reflection on growing up, responsibility, and letting go of the past. Tell Me About Love, 2008. Several stories intertwine in a single city, revealing the different sides of love, from fleeting infatuation to painful addiction. The characters seek intimacy, make mistakes, and try to understand what it means to be with another person. The film depicts love without romantic illusions, honestly, and at times harshly, reminding us that feelings are rarely simple and understandable. Meeting Miss Lee, 2024. A young writer is experiencing creative stagnation and painfully feels a loss of faith in himself and his calling. Trying to escape his usual routine, he heads to Santa Monica for the weekend, a city of ocean, sun, and chance encounters. It is there that a woman, older than him, confident, attractive, and shrouded in a touch of mystery, enters his life. The weekend spent together turns into a series of conversations, confessions, and emotional outbursts. Between walks along the ocean and late-night dialogues, the characters gradually realize that this encounter will leave a mark on their destinies. This is a story about fleeting intimacy that changes more than years of stable life, and about moments that are unforgettable, even if they last only a few days. Sons, 2024. A gritty and intense drama about a woman working in the correctional system. When her long-lost son reappears in her life, her past returns with terrifying force. The film explores questions of responsibility, guilt, and motherhood without offering easy solutions. It's a story about moral choices that can destroy or save, and the difficulty of breaking the cycle of pain. Each of these films leaves behind not just a final point, but a feeling, light, unsettling, or poignant. They don't strive to please, but they linger in the memory, compelling you to return to them again and again. Perhaps you'll recognize yourself in one of these stories, or feel something you've long been unable to put into words.